This is Kendra,
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons.
where she's in one camp and I'm in the other. Okay, great. So we're here for episode 2. Just a little warning to everybody. We have a very adorable little munchkin with us today. And he's not feeling the greatest, so Mama's gonna hold on to him. And so you might hear some cute little baby coos and maybe a baby cough and all that good stuff.
Yes,
It's added bonus.
bonus content.
Bonus content. But we're here to cover the episode 2, which is Demon Pigeons Attack. And I forgot to do this on the last one, but this also covers chapter 6, chapter 7, and some of chapter 8 of the books.
Yeah. What did you think about this episode?
There was so much I liked about it.
Yeah.
Yes. There was also a lot of differences. And then there was a lot of similarities.
I feel like there's a lot more similarities.
I was happy with the similarities. I was like, but there was definitely like an interesting change they decided to do. So we'll go over that.
Okay.
But I do want to
They
say,
did the pigeon thing the way that you thought they weren't going to do it.
I was so surprised about the pigeons because those kids look like they are actually being attacked by pigeons. And like, I watched all their different, like the different kids in the stands, like, and how they were reacting, and the pigeons, like perfect timing with these pigeons.
Yeah.
So either these kids, I think that they were told to act like they're being attacked by pigeons or whatever you want to call these things.
They're definitely not,
Not
pigeons.
pigeons.
But the book calls them, like the chapter name always makes me call them pigeons.
Demon pigeons. Yeah, because in the book, Percy like mentions something about them being pigeons.
Yeah, 'cause New York is like known for their pigeons, so I think they just look like regular pigeons until you look closer, and then they had the metal beaks. But these look like blackbirds.
These looks like blackbirds, yeah, which is fine. I like it. Although it would be kind of funny to see pigeons doing that. But anyways, but you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no way they have real birds doing this. Obviously,
No.
they weren't real. So someone went through and CGI'd a bird doing exactly what the person has decided a bird is doing to them.
That might be how they did it.
I think so. But either way, I was very impressed.
Yeah, or really good directive. Like, the director could have been like, okay, the bird's doing this.
But I'm talking about like we're looking at a crowd of 20 kids.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Anyways,
it was well
I
done.
yeah, and also I have to say I really am impressed with the acting in this season. Both Walker and Leia,
Yes.
amazing facial expressions.
Yes.
They like I've seen so much kid acting different things and have my, like I mean they're kids who are learning still to act and you can see all sorts of different, ways they do things, but these guys are like pros.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the book, like we kind of talked about this last episode, but we have to summarize like weeks of emotions in like 3 scenes. So like I feel like Percy does a great job at that when he is like when you kind of get to see how he feels about Tyson.
Yes.
And it's like all really just like summarize the whole book.
Yeah, because in so much of the book, he's embarrassed about it, upset about it, in that, not in the book, but in that one, couple chapters, there's a lot about it. And here he has to just do it in those few minutes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, they really do amazing job. Oh, I love it. This episode opens with the black birds. You see them, they're coming down.
Yeah.
And then they're like turning into nothing when they hit the barrier.
Yeah,
and
you
then
see, like, the
electrocuted
barrier
to
gun-
death.
Yeah.
And then you see Percy and Annabeth, and they're on the field, and they're talking to each other. Well, they're talking about the birds, and then they're talking about their plan.
Exactly. And I actually kind of like that because the birds all just sitting in the trees in the book. I mean, that's okay, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if they're monsters, how'd they get in the barrier? I mean, the barrier is
the barrier
dissolving.
is like is already letting in a bunch of monsters.
Oh, okay. Okay,
At this
well, in
point.
this case, because it had just happened, it makes sense that they have to be dive bombing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then she says they're Stymphalian birds. I probably messed that up,
Yeah, I don't know how you would pronounce that.
even though they pronounced it in the TV show for us.
Yeah, but like it's like so fast.
It is.
They're discussing how long it might take for the pigeons to break through and why they're here, which is that they can sense that the barrier's failing. And
Yep.
then And then Annabeth's like, okay, let's focus. Like, do you remember the plan? And they don't really say what the plan is, but
Yeah, and I was confused at this point because I was like, huh? You know, like, what do you mean the plan? Like, oh, the chariot race? I'm like, maybe they're talking about the chariot race. Then they start talking about how, like, he's like, I'm really good about getting in trouble. And they
yeah.
have that cute little thing where she's like, Percy. And he's like, Annabeth.
Annabeth. I know, that was so cute. Although
And
it
I
was like a
forgot
perfect moment for Seaweed Brain.
that was a perfect moment. It could have been Seaweed Brain Wise Girl.
Yeah,
Oh well.
but that's
It
okay.
did. It was still really cute. I didn't even think about that. But I forgot at this point that he's supposed to be confined to his cabin because I don't know. That doesn't happen in the book, so I just forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. So the plan is for Percy to cause a distraction and Annabeth to get into Chiron's office
Yes.
to do something. She doesn't even plan to call him particularly.
No. It says you need to. No, Percy says you go find Chiron, and I literally thought Chiron was like in a cell in the
Oh.
big house, and they had like him under lock and key, and she was gonna go break him out, and I was like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what he's.
That's
Maybe they were saying find him as in like look in the
Figure out
office to
where
see
he
if there
went.
was clues about where he went.
It looks like she was looking for clues, not him.
Instead, found a drachma, and I was like, hey, this is easy. Let's just call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, that's jumping ahead a little bit, but yeah, we do see the satyr spotting him, right? And she's like, "Oh, well, there you go," right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Okay, go find Chiron," and then she puts her baseball cap on and disappears. And he says, "I'll just," what does he say? "I'll just wait right here and await punishment."
Yeah, something like that. It is really funny.
I do love the humor. I do love the fact that there is a lot more humor. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot more funny lines.
There was a lot of funny lines.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't have this going in the book because the book opens up to like basically it's just talking about how he's like embarrassed about, Tyson, all this stuff. And then how Annabeth, there's like a line where Annabeth's like trying to cheer him up, like, let's do the chariot race together. We'll win, because Poseidon had invented the horses and
Athena
they
invented the chariot.
The chariot. Oh, duh.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I knew these went together. And they're like, yeah, this is a great idea. But then they start arguing about, I guess she was saying like cyclopses are scary or I don't know, or are mean or deceitful or something. And it's like a stupid fight in the book where she's like, well, fine, then you go get Tyson to help you build one. He's like, fine. And she's like, fine. And then that was their fight.
Yeah.
Very childish. The fight in this one, well, actually it goes totally different because they choose to run separately as opposed to fight and not
Yeah,
run together.
but then they're still kind of fighting.
Oh, there's definitely a fight.
Yeah.
No question. But yeah, so that is like literally a paragraph. So there's not like a whole lot going on at that point about the chariot race. But then we do get the dream of Grover, which comes later in the. So there's like none of this that's happening with Chiron happens at all
Right.
in this chapter, although part of the conversation with Chiron happened in the book.
Yeah, it did already happen because when they showed up at camp in the book, Chiron's packing to leave.
Yeah.
So that never happened.
Yeah. So they kind of bring a little bit of that conversation in
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah. So we have two conversations going on at the same time here. So it's Annabeth talking to Chiron and then Percy talking to Tantalus.
I
in the
love
middle
it.
of the field. Yeah, I love when he's like talking really loudly.
Oh yeah, but do you know that's from the book? Did you know that?
It's I remember him trying to like get Tantalus and tell him what their plan is and that they could save the camp
in front of everyone so
he can't say no. Yes. And then he's like, "Oh, okay, Clarice." And then he's like, "Are you serious right now?"
So all that happens just differently. So here he decides to make very loud so that everybody can hear that he has, not that it helped him at all, but
not really,
whatever. But yeah, he starts like saying, I know how to save the camp. And then Tantalus like pulls him aside and says something funny about like, I have ears.
Like they took away my ability to eat, not my ability to hear. So why don't we lower our voices while you still have the ability to talk?
Yeah. Great line. Yeah. Really so we do go back and forth, but maybe instead of us going back and forth on that, we can just cover each one. So Annabeth has called Chiron, but when she's looking through the office, there's a couple things that I want to mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
They show the prison uniform, the exact prison uniform that's mentioned in the book is hanging up in the closet. So I was like, okay. I see that nod to the book. And then she also looks at the boombox. Yes. And then I saw that and I was like, thank goodness they're going to do. I was so worried that they'd fight the bird some other way,
Yeah, they don't do Dean Martin though.
They
They
do not do Dean Martin.
they do,
Mariah Carey,
Mariah Carey.
which makes so much more sense, except for that Chiron doesn't listen to Mariah Carey. I'm really sorry. So that must have been like maybe a niece of his that left the tape in there because
I think that Kyron listens to Mariah Carey. You think he listens to one artist and that's it?
no, he listens to all of the old music, all the 60s stuff. Dean Martin,
Yeah, but
not
what if he
not current stuff. He's not current pop at all.
is Mariah Carey current pop?
Well, at the time of the book, she was current pop.
At the time of the book, sure.
That's
but
true.
now
Okay,
we're
good point.
ahead.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Now you're making me feel old thinking about how Mariah Carey is actually old to these kids.
Yeah,
That's like old music to them.
yeah. I was like, I mean, in comparison to when these books were written and then Dean Martin, I feel like it's not that far off.
Yeah, you're probably right, and I don't want to actually count that and see if that's true or not because that's like a lot. But anyways, Mariah Carey, if you want to go for high pitched sounds, it's either her or Ariana Grande.
Yeah, right. So back to her going to the office.
Right, and so she saw the boombox, and that was great, made me happy. And
Yeah.
then she gets the drachma, and Iris messages him. Oh, we forgot something important.
Oh yeah.
Before she gets in the office, and one of the ways she gets in the office is she falls behind the satyr, right?
Oh,
Tantalus
right.
is trying to drink water.
Yes.
And is it hard to make water move out of the way from him and skitter out of the way? Or is that just not, this is not the vibe, I guess, of the TV show. But like, all he's doing is sucking on a straw, not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I'm glad they included it because we
Yeah.
hadn't seen it yet. But I was kind of hoping that, like, it would not have been hard at all to attach something below the desk and have, or however you do that kind of stuff. I mean, and move the, like,
You
he
can use
goes,
magnet.
reaches for it and it moves away the
Yeah.
glass, but that's fine. It was kind of a boring attempt at covering that.
Yeah, maybe. But they did it, and it was plot relevant because then she used the water to make a rainbow.
Yeah, sure. I would like to say that when she like flicked the drachma into the rainbow, I was like, oh my gosh, I would probably totally miss. Like,
Yeah, but I don't think Iris is that I don't think she cares that much. I think if you flick it in the general direction
she'll
and
take
say
it.
the right words.
I hope so, or I would be like one of those people trying to make a like basket in a trash can over and over again and being so frustrated.
Yeah.
Although maybe you just walk over to the rainbow and drop it in. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably could.
She's just good at flipping coins because she is a demigod.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we see
Chiron, and he's with the party ponies. And you know what that
Yes.
means? That means we're going to get the party
we
ponies
better.
coming to save the day.
Unless that's the only
No.
reference.
No.
And he's in Miami, which is great.
I really want them to come. Maybe they don't have to be quite as, like, they could have normal arrows.
Yeah, they're probably not going to have like fart arrows and what other weird things. They're not, because it's not, the book is more slapstick silly with a dry sense of humor, and this one is more just dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
Not the slapstick silly, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Dionysus.
Except for Dionysus.
Which is a choice. But the second you cast that actor, that's what's going to happen.
Really? You know him, right? We talked about
Yeah.
this before, yeah. Yeah, I don't
That's
know
just
him,
that
so
actor.
that's funny.
He always plays just the silliest, most ridiculous roles because he can pull it off and make you believe that he would actually act like that.
Yeah. They talk about the Golden Fleece and the Sea of Monsters.
Yes, and then he's like, oh my god, Percy cannot go on this quest at all
Mm-hmm.
because of the Great Prophecy. So this is Annabeth learning about the Great Prophecy for the first time instead of having known it before she even met Percy.
Right. And she's not learning about the Great Prophecy. All she's knowing is because of the Great Prophecy he can't go. He doesn't tell her what the Great Prophecy is.
I don't know. I think he might tell her more, like, when they switch.
Oh,
when we
he
switch
may
point of
have
views.
told her. Yeah. But he didn't tell. We don't know it.
No, but as we're
Thank
switching
you.
back and forth.
By the way, thank you to the TV people to not reveal that
Yeah.
too soon, because that would have just been a little too much for me.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get it revealed. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the whole thing.
When does it get revealed in the books?
It's not until Percy himself hears it, which is, like, the 5th book, isn't it? Like, at the very end.
It's not the very end. Nope.
The 4th book?
Gosh, I can't remember. Man, someone want to tell us? I can't remember where he first hears it.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I remember him being like, oh, I see why it was kept from me, because it literally says I'm gonna die.
Or no, it
That's what
says,
it sounds like. It's just
but
not
also like
gonna be him.
I'm either gonna be the one to take down, Mount Olympus or save it, basically.
I thought that part was known to him because he was under like when it's him and Thalia and they can hear the cow. I'm like
Oh
try
yeah,
not to
okay.
reveal
So
too much.
I'm talking about that part, like him learning that it's like someone who's gonna be 16. Like he does learn that at some point earlier. You're right. He
So it
doesn't learn
has to be at the end of this book or the beginning of the next one
so
then.
yeah, so it might work out just fine.
Yeah. I just feel like he doesn't know the part about, oh yeah, and then the oath to keep with the final breath. Like that part he doesn't find out about till later because he's like, oh
Mhm.
God, thanks for not telling me this. That is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we do find it out maybe in parts, but I could be wrong, and we could be wrong, and we'll, you know, we'll cover it when we get to it.
We'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah.
read this whole book.
So we hear about the great prophecy, finds out that not only should Percy not know about it, but not even know that he doesn't know about it.
Yeah, and Annabeth's saying, like, I cannot lie to him. I cannot lie to him.
Yeah.
Which is true, because she's bad at it.
Obviously, because she literally tells him at the end of this episode that there's something.
Yeah, exactly. But Chiron doesn't care. He's like, "Well, you have to.
Yep, he is.
And you have to stop him from going on this quest, which they also fail to do.
Yeah, and so I'm going to bring this back to the book here, because all this otherwise is not part of the book. But here, it does go back to the conversation with Chiron in his office in the book, where they say something like, oh, Chiron says to Annabeth, you need to keep him safe because of the prophecy. And then Percy says, you mean that super duper prophecy that the gods have forbidden you to tell me? And then they both like look at him and he's like, right.
Yeah.
So we do get that, except for that Percy's there.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. So it is already in play like it's supposed to be. I actually can't quite figure out why Chiron's saying he can't go. Just because he has to be kept safe so that he has the chance to turn 16?
He does. So funny. I made that note, and then the next line when it went back to him, I guess, he says Kronos wants this quest to happen.
Yeah.
So it's a trap. So he's basically saying he thinks it's a trap for Percy. So you can't let Percy go and fall. You have to go save the Golden Fleece. The trap is for Percy.
Yeah, but instead, it is true that Kronos poisoned the tree for this quest to happen, but that's because he needs to find the fleece because the fleece will bring him back.
I think that's still the same.
Yes, I know, but that's the reason. It's not because of Percy.
Exactly. So they're saying in this TV show, he's basically saying that part of the trap. See, so in the book, we got the idea that Luke was like, hey, I'll just send demigods out on a quest and then steal the fleece from them. Easy peasy, right?
Yeah.
In this case, it sounds like they want to steal the fleece and they're hoping that Percy Jackson's going to do it so they can also.
Well, that's what Chiron's interpretation is, but I think Chiron's wrong.
Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah. That's what he's saying in this conversation.
Yeah.
Whether he's wrong or we don't know because this is the TV show, not the book.
It could be right.
And anything could happen.
Not anything. But yeah, it could be part of the plan. It could be a triple plan.
Sure. That's the end of the conversation with Chiron.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, so Annabeth could know more than we, the viewers, know because of them cutting back and forth.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know. I think yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to see because she'll probably give us some kind of idea.
Yeah, or we'll get a flashback.
Yeah. Now, when we do, before Tantalus comes, I do want to point out that we meet Chris Rodriguez, who is a different actor this time, which is totally fine. But Clarice is absolutely flirting with him.
Yes.
And he is uncomfortable?
A little bit. But I don't, yeah.
This may be a little, like, it's so funny. They throw my emotions all over the place with Clarice here. Because, like, she's flirting with Chris Rodriguez, and then he tells her to back off.
Yeah.
And she looks, like, self-conscious. And then everyone laughs. And then I'm like, that's sad.
Yeah.
She must not be a very good bully if people are laughing at her.
Well, people laugh at her in the books too.
Oh, you're right.
Whenever Percy gets one up on her, it does.
Also, remember that scene where she's just in this book, in these chapters, where she walks in and she's got you moo girl.
Yeah.
On the back of her, like on a thing on the back. So you're right. People are making fun of her as well.
Yeah.
So good. Well done, TV show. Well done. Okay.
But I was like, I'm so confused. Why is Chris still here? I was expecting him to go off with Luke. I was so confused.
Do you know when he's probably going to go off with Luke?
During this quest.
Yes.
I know, and it's going to break Clarice's heart.
I'm thinking so because, yeah, you were right. I mean, he is not supposed to be at the camp. He's supposed to be off with Luke.
I know, I was so confused.
Yeah.
And also, learning that Clarice likes Chris is supposed to be like a big fourth book reveal.
Yeah, but who cares?
No one. I mean, I don't.
I don't. I it's like, to me, it's not like to me, it was never like, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't have a big thing for their ship. So just like, whatever.
Yeah, but it's just when he does come back in book 4, because he's a pretty important character in book 4.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, is then he's suddenly gonna like Clarice then? Because what? Because she
Well,
heals
she
him or
heals
helps
him. And she also has like changed so much by book 4.
Yeah.
So let's not tell too much because then it gets into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to say that the actor, I looked him up, Timothy Simons, who does Tantalus, does a great job.
Yes. He's
In this conversation,
and
yeah,
great.
but his like sarcastic dry humor plus awfulness together, perfect.
Yeah.
But they have a great back and forth, him and Percy. And can I just say that Percy pulls out his inner Hermione or even Violet from Fourth Wing by pulling out that book and being like, in blah blah, what is it? Like some kind of law, like,
Yeah, well,
statute, something, section, blah.
but Annabeth told him to do that.
I know. Okay, fine. No, did she?
Yes, she said, don't forget, like, your way out is, and then she quotes the exact, like, rule that it is.
How did I miss that both times I watched it? Are you sure you weren't just imagining that?
Gotta pull up receipts now.
Where's the receipt?
So it's her plan. She says the article and the subsection, and Percy's just following her plan. And then Tantalus even says, like, oh, you think you're smart? And he's like, no, not really. Because there's literally Annabeth's plan.
Somehow I didn't connect that. So yeah, they have a great conversation. It's just a back and forth. He basically says, yep, but per this law, I'm allowed to be out as long as there's a camp activity.
A camp-wide activity, like the
Camp-wide
chariot.
activity that everyone's involved in, not just like archery.
Yeah, exactly. Which is great. And then he takes the book and he's like, after Percy says, no, I don't think I'm smart, Tantalus says, I'm going to count on that. And hopefully you get like run over or impaled with a spear or something because he's like dumb. That was pretty funny too.
That was pretty
He
funny.
does then later use the camp rules against him.
Yeah.
So Tantalus does like, you know, turn this around.
Yeah. He probably decided that he needed to learn the camp rules. So all of this that happens up to this point is mostly not in the book. You know, like the events aren't really in the book, but the little bits of pieces that they throw in, some of them are.
Yeah.
So at this point in the TV show, we're actually where they're talking about the chariot race, Annabeth and him, I think. So she's just come back from Chiron.
Yeah, and she says, okay, here's the plan. We're going to race separately. Whoever wins gets a boon.
Yeah.
So funny.
And Percy's like, a boon.
Yeah.
And then he keeps saying boon after that. If you think it's funny, he's like, I like this word. This is a good word.
It's funny. But she explains that it's like a favor from the gods, so they could cash it in for whatever, basically.
Yes. And you can see that she's trying not to lie in any spot here.
Yeah.
Without saying anything.
Because then he's like, oh, so whoever wins will have, like, the other one join them on the quest. And she's like, all right, see you out there. And just, like, leaves.
She does. I thought it was interesting how they did this because, like, the idea in the book was like, we should be together because we have these two, you know, powerful reasons for winning this race. And then in the TV show, she's like, we should be separate because we both then have a chance.
Yeah, but she doesn't mean it. She just thinks
No.
she's going to win.
It's just a good thing to say to Percy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Very confident in herself.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. And she is almost winning before everything goes crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. She says the race is tomorrow, and then you see him like go and push on the chariot and the wheel breaks. And I'm like, Percy, the race is tomorrow, and you have just for the first time looked at your chariot. Like,
This is actually why she doesn't want to partner with you.
I know. She's like, you're a horrible planner. Thank goodness that Tyson knows how to fix things.
Yeah, I don't know. He said his plan was just to borrow a wheel from someone else. That was his plan.
Oh, man. This would have gone so different.
Yeah. But, so then he does show up to the cabin where Tyson has been making him a new compass for his quest.
Yeah.
Also, he says this line like, have you saved the camp yet?
I know, so
Percy's
cute.
like, nah, I'm working on it.
It's because Tyson believes in him so strongly.
Yeah.
He just knows, you know, he just figures whatever Percy's going to do, he can do.
Yes. And see, this is like a great example of like that line from him is very like naive and a little, you know, childish.
Yeah, we do get to see a little bit how, like, his innocence. It's like actually an innocence in the world. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're going to do this? It's going to happen. Just like, because it's the same thing that happens when he returns back from later when he finds out Clarice is going to do the quest, and he comes back and Tyson says, "You're going to go on the quest?" Like he just believes that whatever Percy wants to do, he can do, which is a good belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just such a great line that really gives that impression, but it's also like he's not being weird.
Yeah.
Like he's just being normal, but also it shows his naivety and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is great. And then he has his compass, which, by the way, he says this is the compass you're going to take on the quest. So how much do you want to bet that Tyson's going to have brought that with him? It's going to be in his backpack because we don't see it.
Percy did pack a bag that he was like using as a pillow.
True. So he could have packed it. I was just hoping because when I saw that, when I watched it the second time, I was like, oh, did they take it? I want to know.
I really hope so.
It was a cool compass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, why are there tools in the cabin of Poseidon? There's not tools in Poseidon's cabin.
I would love to assume that he prayed for them and
okay, good. I'll take that. Thank you.
Just got him from
Poseidon's like, this is a Cyclops. He needs some tools. I mean, that makes sense because the Cyclops do work in the forges under the sea.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a good handling. But yeah, he fixes the wheel in 2 seconds.
Yes. By the way, how? Okay, can I just say, I was watching the second time I was watching with Sean. Even the first time I watched it, I was like, this doesn't really make sense. But Sean was like, okay, so he picks up he says that there's better tools here. Then he picks up the tiniest wooden hammer you've ever seen. And then he doesn't even bang it with it because like it would ruin the audio. So you just see him like tap it really gently and then everything else happens off out of shot.
Yeah.
Did he fuse wood together with his bare hands? Is that what you're telling me happened? Those spokes were broken.
He's magic? No,
I know.
That works for Harry Potter more.
No, it has to be some sort of magic because fixing that made no sense. How did he fix it? Zero noise. He fixed it silently. It was just very funny.
Silently, unlike our podcast with a cute little baby making lots of noise, which I hope you guys are all enjoying. Yeah, I know. It's cute. I thought it was funny. But there's a little sad conversation where he's like, you met Dad before. Can I meet him? And, it's interesting because they do make Zeus out as horrible, but they
try harder to make Poseidon seem
a little better because Percy does kind of make excuses for him. He's sort of like, I really feel like he would like to more. So we could go on the idea that maybe Zeus doesn't let him.
Well, he says that he's really busy, but I get the impression that he wishes he wasn't as busy.
I know. But see, then you go into like thinking about parents out there who are so busy they can't spend time with their kids. And I don't know if that's, sorry, to parents out there everywhere. Like, I don't know if that's like a good excuse. Is it really a good excuse?
Yeah. Well, it just is a better excuse than, he hates his kids.
Sure.
He doesn't care about us.
Yeah. It's
like,
better than that.
It's like the bar is so low for the gods.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really make sense because when you think about it, they can be many places at once. So.
Yeah, but if you make that the case, then you kind of, ruin all plot points and everything else. I don't know.
Yeah.
You give someone too much power, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's how it is in the books. They can also visit you in your dreams. A lot of the gods visit but the real reason is that they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to show favoritism, especially to their children.
Yeah.
And if they show too much favoritism, they will get in trouble. And they can also put their kid in danger by doing that. Because the gods can only be punished so much. And as we know from every Greek story, who gets punished when the gods make a mistake? The mortal.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's why.
Okay, good.
But I'm sure he does wishes he could see them more.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Even in the books, he seems to care about them.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He does seem to care about them in the books, yeah. So going back to the book, chapter 6, this is where we finally have something happening at the same time. The chariot race starts, right? And they explain the field and the stone steps and all that stuff. And they do a good job showing that in the show.
Yeah, I think the set looks wonderful.
Yes, the set's very good. I don't know what the statue is in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's figured that out. Should Google and look and see. Oh, yeah. But in the book, Mr. D doesn't show up to the chariot races, which I'm very glad he does in the TV show because he adds some fun to it.
Yeah.
Also in the book, Tantalus says, try not to kill anyone. And he says, killing will get a harsh punishment. No s'mores at the next campsite. I was like, okay, campfire, whatever. So that's different in this one because in this one, he's giving out the rules and Mr. D's like, you skipped no killing. And then he says something. What does he say?
He says like, because before he said like that journey tricks are encouraged, and he said killing not so much, but accidents happen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Mr. D and Tantalus in this are very much all into like, we love, violence and don't give any care about the camp.
That's pretty accurate for the book too, though.
That's true. Yeah, it's very, but it seems even more in your face with the TV show, probably because we're seeing it like
It's because
expressed and played out in front of us.
But also, it's like, okay, let's show how they feel about the camp in 3 scenes, because then we're out of here.
That's true. That's true.
So it has to be like maybe more blatant.
Yes. Also, in the book, Percy's trying to tell Annabeth about Grover, where in the TV show, he's already told her, she knows they're on it already.
Yeah, but in the book, she's like not believing him.
No, she's saying you're trying to distract me, but then she starts believing him a little bit.
You know what I mean? He says it's the fleece, and then she's like, "Oh, it's the one thing that can solve our problems." Is
See, I read that through again, and he doesn't know yet that it's the fleece. He is like, he says he found something that he talks about like the magic of the nature magic and all this stuff. And she's like, oh, so like Grover happens just to stumble across the one thing that can save camp. Percy still doesn't know what that is.
No, but she does.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also find out in the book that horses don't like Cyclops, which doesn't seem to be causing any kind of problem with Tyson.
Yeah, do you know what else?
Show.
Do you know else isn't a problem? That Percy just doesn't talk to horses.
Percy.
This is the one out of 3 things that happened that I'm like, why? Just have a short conversation with her. Are you saying he's not going to talk to Blackjack? What's even the point of Blackjack being there then?
To give him a flying horse.
Yeah, I mean, that is really helpful.
Yeah. No, but I wonder if he will suddenly find out that he can talk to horses.
Oh, I'm just like
a little scared about that.
If there was a time, like I know in the first season we were like, well, he could have talked to the horse, like that scooping the poop with Grover or whatever. But it's like, this was literally the time he could have been like, oh God. He says to Annabeth that he can talk, that he, like, Poseidon invented horses and that's why they should be on a team. But it's like, do we actually see that be helpful? No. Because he doesn't talk to the horses.
Yeah, and that's where it's supposed to be helpful.
And it could have been like, oh, Tyson, the horses tell me that they're scared of you.
Yeah.
Can you tell them that you are a nice Cyclops? And that could have been it to prove that he could talk to horses.
Yeah, and I don't see why they wouldn't. It is something they can do that fits right in with the whole way the TV show's going, totally.
I know, and that annoyed me.
Finally, something that annoyed her.
Now, Percy tells Tyson to join him and says, I can get you out of this cabin. And we go into the scene where the race is about to start. Everyone's there, but Percy and Tyson are not there yet.
Because they have to put together this whole chariot in 24 hours.
Yeah, probably. Everyone's lining up and you get to see all the teams. And assuming we probably do know the names of most of these people.
I know, I was trying to see. So then we had Chris Rodriguez in the Hermes. Now, that was interesting. Because Chris is an unclaimed camper.
Yeah.
In the books. And Connor and Travis Stoll are the ones who are supposed to be running the Hermes chariot. Yeah. So, but we're going to make, I feel bad because I want to see Connor and Travis, and then the really cool steam powered one is obviously Hephaestus, and that's got to be Charles Beckendorf.
Yeah. And
then we have, we learned that the Athena other girl is Bronte, which is not in the books.
Just someone random.
Could they not have picked a name from the books?
There is that one guy, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Could have been Malcolm.
That's
the only, I think that might be the only Athena named person, though.
Maybe. And we find out the Ares guy is Mark, who's also not a named camper in the book. And there's a bunch of Ares campers. Are they named, though?
I don't remember a single one of their names.
Okay, never mind. Maybe that's fine. We're giving these guys names. Now we know their names. Then what's the other chariots?
I don't know. I'm assuming Aphrodite maybe's there.
I couldn't.
I didn't, spot one that was like,
Apollo's cabin is there.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the head of Apollo cabin?
Will.
Wait, do we learn about Will this early, though?
I think so.
He's the head of Apollo's cabin later.
Yeah, he could be the whole time.
Be. That's true. I don't think we learn about Will until the 5th book.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, I guess we know some of them, but not all of them, but that's not particularly a problem.
No. But we have this conversation between Anna. Well, no, hold on.
First,
First,
Percy.
Percy and Tyson show up, and they all are like, "Go our team." Or did that happen after the conversation?
No, they show up, and then everyone's like, "Go Aries, go this, go that," and I love how Percy and Tyson are like, because if they yelled out,
No
"Go
one's
Poseidon,"
gonna
no one's gonna
cheer
say anything
because
because
the whole cabin
it's in the chair.
is in the chariot. I know. I thought about that too.
Yeah.
But they decide not to because Tyson says, I want to make Dad proud, but I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah, he's so sweet,
It is sweet.
but that's not how you win a chariot race.
No.
We see more of that during the race, but also Percy tells him not to target Annabeth,
Yeah.
which gives us a nice contrast to the conversation that happens next.
Yes. Yeah. So Bronte is told by Annabeth to take out the Poseidon chariot if it looks like they're gonna win. And then Bronte's like, "Well, I thought you guys were like friends." And Annabeth's like, "Yeah, well, that's why I'm asking you to do it." And then you see
Yes.
that Tyson definitely overheard this conversation.
Yes. You see him looking over there and looking a little concerned. And so I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, why is he looking at them? Is he listening? Like, could it be that loud? I forgot about his Cyclops hearing. So
Yeah.
yeah. Which maybe they were hoping we'd forget because then it gets shown later. But
Yeah, see, it's still kind of revealed.
yeah,
That's what I mean. Like,
there's some little reveals.
like you didn't know for sure he heard the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, immediately in the TV show, immediately Clarice takes out the Hephaestus chariot, right?
Yep.
In the book, what happens, it's not Clarice at all. It's Hermes' chariot rams into Apollo, knocks him off course, but then gets their like, I don't know, like horses tangled up with their horses, and then they're off course. And then it's like 2 out immediately. And in that case, in the book, Percy's like, there goes 2. I love chariot races, right?
Yeah.
Where in the TV show, it's Mr. D that says something like, look at that, look at it, look, great start. I love chariot races. I don't know. It seemed like it was the same similar thing to what Percy said in the book, but
Yeah.
there's a lot happening at this race, and we're not going to go through step by step of everybody doing things.
It's just a great action scene.
Yeah, and you do see Tyson like get someone falling off their chariot, and then he's like, sorry.
Yeah. And we see Clarice use her spike on
Chris.
someone's wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Chris.
Yeah. Wait.
And
No. She uses her spike on Percy.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
that's when the wheel goes out. He falls out, holds on by one hand. Tyson grabs him, pulls him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So we do get to see a lot of different things going on.
Yeah, and we also see that Annabeth, Clarice, and Percy are doing the best, it seems.
Right. But this is when the birds finally break through. And you get here the same thing that happens in the book where like Annabeth and Percy are both like, uh-oh, and like are worried about the people.
Yeah.
And Clarice is like, keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Although they do Clarice a little dirty in the TV show because she just goes and laughs at the fact that everybody's taken off and she's winning, where in the book, it actually says, like, right after she wins, she jumps out and runs to go attack the birds.
No, but you see that too, that she also does stop at the
she
TV
does?
show and start
Okay.
fighting.
It must be a little bit off the side a little bit, so I didn't.
I guess, kind of, yeah, but you do see Clarice fighting the birds at one point, but not
It's
right
very
away.
obvious in the book because she sees these guys taking off towards the big house in a chariot.
Yeah, I think.
And she's like, where are you guys going? You're cowards. This is where the fight is at. And she starts fighting the birds.
Yeah.
So you kind of, it brings attention to that. So I just didn't see that in the TV show.
Yeah, she does continue the race, but then she does end up fighting the birds off
Okay,
as well.
fine. That's good. That's good. I mean, she won. So there you go.
Yep. There you go. So they run off. Well, sorry, Percy and Annabeth are kind of just fighting them or looking around, but then they see Tantalus getting attacked, and
Right.
Tantalus starts screaming
Yep.
and makes the birds fly away. And then this is how Annabeth remembers this and figures it out.
Right. And it's funny because in the book, Tantalus yells out, everything's under control, not to worry. And in the TV show, he yells out, don't panic, we have a minor field hazard. And then that's when he gets attacked by the birds. And then he like, his high-pitched screaming like scares him off.
Yeah.
So that's where she comes like, she's like, Hercules used noise to chase him off. And that's the same as in the book.
Yeah. So then she gets Percy's attention and they run to Chiron's office. They grab the boombox.
We assume they run. They don't actually show how they get there. They could have jumped in a chariot and taken with their horses.
That's true.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd show that. In the book, they find his collection and they like get like the greatest hits of Dean Martin. And it says something like violin and Italian. And then I realized that, like, maybe I don't know Dean Martin's music because I know, like, his Christmas song. So maybe I
Yeah.
don't know anything about this music. But in the TV show, it's Mariah Carey, and she's definitely sings high. That's why they picked that song.
Yeah.
But they must have found it and got it to the exact point to hit play.
Well,
That
maybe
was a
they hit
tape.
play at the office and then they're running
Yeah.
and it's playing and then they get there and they put it against the thing.
Listeners, do you know how tapes work?
You
I'm
can fast forward.
Yep. You can't just hit next and next. You got to find the right song and then
Yeah.
find the right spot on the song. It takes work. This is why people in my generation know every song on their tape because they just listened to the whole thing and they didn't want to have to fast forward and rewind.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, and then we get the same thing both, and this is very good, very canon. Like the field is covered with wounded people. And it's like the same. It gives you the exact same vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is that in the book, Tantalus is like, bravo to Clarice. Now I'm going to punish the trollmakers who
Yeah.
disrupted the race.
Uh-huh.
Where in this one, after all that happens,
He's like, we did it.
yes, he says we did it.
Yeah. Even though he did nothing.
Well, he did, actually. He screeched very high-pitched sound. So yeah, in both cases, the TV show and the book stop at the scene and go to a new scene. But in the book's case, they are scrubbing pots in the kitchen with like, what is it, like lava?
Yeah.
So they have to have like asbestos gloves or something like that. But this gives them
Asbestos gloves.
No, asbestos.
Oh.
Like the material because it's like heat resistance.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, but this gives them the chance finally in the book to actually talk about the golden fleece. She actually says it's the golden fleece, right? And there is like a little bit about the golden fleece. Apparently Zeus sent this ram to save his children. And there's like this comment about how one of them fell off, but who cares? Like, that's not important. And then Percy's like, it sure was important to her. Anyways, but the son that made it, he like sacrificed the ram, which I thought was rude. To thank his dad for sending him to save him. Anyways, and then the golden fleece gets put over like some branches and everyone's prosperous and it became famous after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then they talk about the Sea of Monsters and like Percy's like, what is the Sea of Monsters? And she's like, this is the sea where all heroes sail through in order to go on an adventure. And then he's like, well, how would, that get missed? Like a bunch of monsters, in a sea. And she's like, well, basically, have you ever heard of an area where they all disappear? The Bermuda Triangle. And this is the reason why the Bermuda Triangle has all those crashes.
Yep.
So we get all that in the conversation in the book. And they decide that they need to ask for a quest, but they have to do it in front of the campers so that Tantalus can't like wiggle out of it.
Yeah.
So that's that little scene that happens on the side that we obviously don't get in this case because they're not being punished, which is actually makes more sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And now we move into the big house where we're having a meeting.
They could have made it a campfire because that's where this whole conversation is supposed to be taking place, but fine.
I think lighting wise.
Oh, that's true. And you know what? Speaking of lighting, it is a little lighter this season than it was last season. It was very dark last season. There is a bit more light to it this season. So thank you. But I feel like they might have heard from the fans on that one.
Yeah. So they're having this meeting and Tantalus is like, oh, wait. First Mr. D is like, oh, don't worry, we get to reschedule the chariot races. And
no one
everyone's
claps,
like,
except for that one satyr.
Yeah, that one dumb satyr.
Yeah.
And then Tantalus is like, I heard from the wood nymphs, and it's not, the border's not failing for at least a week.
And after that, you guys are all, he says something like,
he says, and then you'll have to run like hell, or something like that. It was so funny. But everyone's like freaking out, and then they're like, we need a quest.
Well, he says, but I have the key to the survival. It was told to me in a dream.
Oh, yeah, and he gets the numbers wrong.
Totally gets the numbers wrong.
He only gets one number wrong. He says 30,
true.
24.
Instead of 31.
Instead of 31, and then 75, 12.
12.
Yeah. And Percy's like, he's messing up all the numbers.
Well, this just pisses Percy off, like, no doubt the whole thing.
Yeah, because he's pretending like this was all his idea, and that he has the plan, and it's
Although
just
anybody
awful.
who was standing around Percy in the scene where he kind of yells it out loud in that chariot space would know that he was the one who said it. But it doesn't matter. Clarice is mentioned as being the one to go, right? So that's the same as in the campfire because they're like, she's the one who obviously won, so she gets to do it. So it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, and it is like so annoying.
It is so annoying, but also,
But
I
she has
mean,
been defending the camp and all that.
yeah, not particularly, like, at the same time, he could have picked, Clovis, who we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
And that would have really sucked. At least he's picking someone that maybe has a chance of actually making it,
Yeah.
so that's good. But it is funny. So in both cases, when he says Clarice in the campfire in the book, he stands up and he's like, wait, whatever. And all the kids yell at him to sit down. And the same thing happens in the TV show. So that's the same.
When Percy stands up.
When he's like, wait, again, same thing. Like, I'm the one who told you. And everybody's like, sit down, Percy. Sit down, Jackson. Yeah.
Because they're all like, you had your chance at... It's not really explained in the TV show. Like, when that moment happens, it is a little bit, like, suddenly jarring. It's like, oh, okay. Or at least in the book, you do get the explanation, like, they all think he had his shot at glory last year, and getting a quest is, like, such a honor.
Yeah.
They all want a quest. All of them want a quest.
That's right. It shouldn't just be the same person over and over again.
And so, like, they're like, shut up. You already had your chance.
Yeah.
Like, you're being annoying. Where in the TV show, it's kind of like, wait, what are they mad at him for? Because you don't really get any of that.
But during the whole TV show, he doesn't seem to be getting any kind of, like, likes from, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's sort of just annoyed with him during the whole TV show. So it's not that jarring.
It's not that jarring, but I just felt like we were missing the backstory.
Yeah, you're missing the backstory for sure. But yeah, in the book, we don't actually get to see Clarice pick people. In fact, it's implied later that no one would come with her, maybe, or
yeah, because they were like, it's a doomed quest. You literally can't. Maybe,
yeah. It's not explained very well, but we know that she has to go to the Oracle to get. Oh yeah, we have no Oracle.
Well, I'm sure
we don't know. Maybe she did
visit the Oracle.
Okay, fine. She might have. But because it's off screen also in the book as well. But she goes to the Oracle. We do find out that when you hear the actual, what they say, it sounds like it's a doom quest. And so that would make sense. And no one went with her. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really make sense. People should have still went with her. That's kind of rude. But we also hear Tantalus's story about how he got mad at his kids for berating him for trying to steal ambrosia and nectar from the gods.
Yeah.
So he killed his kids and fed them to the gods.
And then was surprised to get in trouble for this.
And he's like, this is what you do with children that don't listen, which is great.
Yeah, it's like, wait, weren't you the one trying to steal from the gods? It just doesn't even make sense.
So we don't get his story at all in the TV show, which is fine. People can look it up.
Yeah.
But instead, we get Clarice picking people.
Yeah, and she picks Annabeth, and
which is surprising.
Definitely a moment that I was like, how do they write themselves out of this? Because
and I was actually very scared. No, actually, I wasn't scared. I was mad I'm glad it worked out at the end. But when I saw that, I was like, no. Percy's not going to go off alone with Tyson to the cruise ship without Annabeth. Are they going to do that? And then they meet up later with Clarice and Annabeth. And I was not happy.
Yeah, I was quite confused. But I think once I figured out, once it gets revealed how it plays out, I was like, then I was so glad they did that because of the exact reason of me being confused.
I still wonder if there's a writer on staff who has a problem with friends betraying them. Because first week... Grover in season 1, which pissed me off so bad. And then now Annabeth, although Grover's wasn't explained very well in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Where Annabeth, it's she's literally doesn't want to do it and is told she has to. So it's not so bad. But I am what are we doing with all this betrayal?
Yeah, maybe.
Someone's been hurt. Some person has been hurt.
Everyone then starts saying, we want to get picked. But Percy first said, you want, so I also have quest experience and hello, you're going on the ocean. Hi.
The best person to take.
I am the son of the ocean god. And she does actually seem like she's considering it. She's going to be
Can you imagine Clarice running a quest with Percy and Annabeth?
Yeah. That would have been really cool. That would have been a really cool story. But that doesn't happen because Annabeth steps in.
No. Percy is so betrayed here. You see it in his face. It is perfect. Amazing face acting. Face acting, is that a thing?
Yeah,
sure.
I guess so. It's more
just
like normal
Annabeth has amazing eyebrow acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then because she doesn't pick Percy, she picks Chris Rodriguez. And this obviously is how they're going to bring Chris Rodriguez to Luke. It has to be.
I think there's a very high chance that he's already working for Luke and he's just like the inside man. I would like to
Ooh.
believe that he does have a crush on Clarice already, but
He's the inside man and he
is
can't.
like betraying them actively, and then that's what makes him feel uncomfortable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not going to replace Selena Beauregard. I don't want to say any more than that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. That would be a way to do it.
No. We do need to get some of our peeps. We need to see Charles Beckendorf. We need to see Selena Beauregard.
We need to see the twins.
The twins.
Yeah. I know. We do get
Wait,
so
they're
little
not
time.
twins. They're just like so close
Oh, yeah.
to look like each other. We always think they're twins, but they're not twins.
Well, it's just like there's the prankster twins in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know. We think of these guys as being twins, but they're not.
Before this scene in the big house ends, Tantalus tells Percy as he's trying to leave because he's mad that if anyone is caught leaving campus, they're going to get shot on sight.
Yeah, shoot to kill.
Anyone or anything, which I think is supposed to be a dig at Tyson.
Tyson, oh my gosh. Yeah, and in the book, at the campfire, he also announces that no one leaves or they get expelled. It's a little less harsh.
Yeah, but they still end up being in danger of dying because the cleaning harpies will kill you if you're out of
if they catch
bed.
it. Yeah, so it does say that they might eat you.
Yeah, so it's not that different.
Yeah.
And then we get to this scene where Percy's heading back to his cabin, and you see Tyson outside the cabin. And this is so funny. I don't know why, but it just was so funny when he's like, no, Clarice got it. And then Tyson's like, oh, she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Percy's like, oh my God.
He didn't totally read the room.
No. But it was like a great little example of how he's, a little bit young and a little bit naive.
Right, exactly.
Cannot read the tone.
Yeah, very innocent. Percy says something about Annabeth betraying him, and Tyson says, oh, like the time she told Bronte or whatever. However he like presented that, but then he was
said like when she whispered something to Bronte.
Right, and then he's all like, oh, Sally tells me not to listen to people's conversations, eavesdrop and stuff. And then Percy's like, no, tell me.
Yeah.
And that's when he does in Anna and Bronte's voice exactly what happened.
Yep.
The chariot race.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was this, I felt like it was amazing acting. I was like at that point too, Walker's face, his expressions when he was hearing all this and stuff, just like, I was so impressed.
Yep. And then he starts packing. They're in the cabin now suddenly, and he's packing, and Tyson's like, you can't go.
Right. And he says he's scared of the dark, which I thought was sad.
Yeah, but accurate, because he's supposed to be scared of, like, everything.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And then at this point, he then has the dream with Grover in the wedding dress. So we already got that dream earlier in the chapters of the books.
Yeah.
It came earlier in the books. But here we get the wedding dress dream. And I bet everyone loved the fact that both Walker and Arian had to wear a wedding dress.
Both put it on. Oh, this dream was so good in so many ways. I love that he sees the Cyclops and then he instantly is like, so how does Annabeth feel about that? Grover.
Oh, yeah.
And this would have been the moment that he could have revealed Annabeth's trouble with Cyclops, but instead Percy's like, I don't give a crap how she feels. And then he's like, then he can sense his emotions.
Yes.
Which is great.
Grover's like everybody's therapist here,
Yeah, exactly. And then he's like ever the mediator. He's like, I'm not taking sides, but maybe she had a good
reason. And that's when it leads to like Percy kind of realizing like, well, because Grover's like, I betrayed you. And he's like, yeah, but that's because Chiron told you to. And then he's thinking, oh, it was right after the conversation with Chiron.
Yeah.
He just had to get out of his little anger thing and use some of the brain cells.
Yep. But he does figure it out, right?
He does. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And then you hear the boulder, coming, and he's like, oh my God, he's coming, he's gonna want dinner. It's so funny.
And then he's like, help me put this back on. And then he explains the whole thing about that we know from the book about him, like the guy can't see, and so he doesn't know. He thinks he's basically a female Cyclops
who just wears goat-scented perfume.
Now that's something.
And we get the deadline here because he says he thinks Like, I told him it's bad luck to see the bride until the wedding, which is next week. So it's like, okay, good.
That's the deadline, yeah.
We have the deadline of
Yeah,
next
in
week.
the book, Polyphemus, is that his name?
Yeah.
Says, "Has it been 2 weeks yet?" And he said and Grover's like, "No, it's only been," I think he says, like, 5 days, and then he says, "So that means 12 more days." Which is and then it's just going to show how dumb this Cyclops is because he, like, thinks about it for a little bit
Yeah.
and then says something, I don't know. He does start to suspect, obviously, along the way, but it's funny. It was a funny scene
Yeah.
in the book.
That means 12 more days. Yeah, and he tells Percy, he's like, I'm trying to buy as much time as I can, but he's getting anxious.
Yeah, exactly. And so in the TV show, we do end out that scene with the best thing ever, which is when he puts his veil on and
Yeah.
you can't see him at all. And he
No.
says, "How do I look?" And Percy says, "Beautiful."
And he says it so seriously. It was really funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
This time when Percy wakes up from his dream, he doesn't fall out of bed for the first time.
Oh, really?
Nope, he just sits up.
Oh, you're right. Gosh darn it. I was hoping it would be a theme.
Nope.
I didn't even notice that because he didn't fall out of his bed, so there was nothing to notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here, if we go back to the book, we're in chapter 7. And in the book, Percy's not, he did mention he was going to go off on his own, but he wasn't going to go off that night. He decided he just wanted to go sit by the ocean.
Yeah.
He like, I think brought some sodas or something, right? And went to go snuck out to go sit by the ocean. And that's when he comes across this runner
Yeah.
who turns out to be Hermes. And we get George and Martha. And this is his first time meeting Hermes.
Yes, first time ever.
Yeah, in the book. And so we get a conversation that's somewhat similar in the TV show.
Yeah.
But that's, I just
But
wanted
there's
to point
no
that
George and Martha.
there is no George and Martha. There's a lot of people upset about that. I personally am upset about that. But I don't know, I don't feel like I can be too upset because I also don't, again, they add a part of this slapstick humor
Yeah.
kind of whatever that the Percy Jackson books have that this TV show is not doing. So maybe it would just be
It just wouldn't make
weird
sense.
right here.
Yeah, I kind of think it would. But it is unfortunate. But then they give us that really funny dream. So it's not like they're taking everything away, you know?
Yeah, but the humor is different. And the
It
other
is
thing
different.
too is that like it makes me think we're not going to get a really funny blackjack with the yo boss thing because that's the same type of humor and I'm getting worried about those things getting missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it probably will be. I don't even know if he'll talk to Blackjack or if he'll just be like, oh yeah, I just like this Pegasus and that's it. Who knows? He hasn't talked to a single horse.
Yeah, I don't know. So there are things that like I don't know why choices are made. George and Martha were an amazing addition to this scene. But it's a very serious conversation. Well, no, I mean, Hermes also makes some jokes here as well.
Oh gosh,
In the TV
The
show.
one joke about how he invented lie
Yeah.
and it was taken by a thief.
A liar. It's a liar. Lyre. Yeah.
Yeah.
He invented a liar and it was taken by a thief because of what Percy said to him.
Yeah, that was a really funny joke. And also very Lin-Manuel Miranda, like such a play on words.
Yes.
He loves that. I wonder if he wrote that line.
Right, exactly.
So funny.
Yeah, so we do get some humor, but they're also like making something very emotional here in this conversation.
Yeah, but we did skip him talking to the ocean because before Hermes shows up, he's telling his dad, like, I know you could stop me if you wanted to. Like, do I have your permission to go on this quest?
Or not, do I have your permission? He even says, I don't need your permission. I just want to know you're not going to stop me.
Yeah,
Because you can stop me.
But then he does get the permission though, because
Well,
Hermes
he does,
says.
for sure.
So I'm just saying that he did have a god's permission to leave camp.
He does.
And Annabeth is one of the ones that is allowed to leave camp because it says you only can leave if you're one of the ones who are assigned to the quest, which she's assigned to the quest. And well, then there's Tyson.
But you know what?
He
can just go to the underwater.
Yes. He can just go to the forges.
Yeah, underwater. Yeah, no, you're right. And in fact, even before that, that little satyr dude sees him leaving the cabin and obviously runs off to tell Tantalus. Luckily, it takes a lot more time this time than he did last time.
Maybe he had trouble waking up. Like Tantalus is sleeping.
He was sleeping so deeply. But yeah, you're right. The start of this whole conversation with Hermes is like, I have a message from your dad. Actually, no, it's like dad. And he's like, not yours, son.
Yeah. He's like,
Or not yours,
but
kid.
I come bearing gifts and a messess from your pops.
Your
He
pops.
says
And
your
then he says
pops.
quest approve. And I like how Percy's sort of like, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say so much. These oh, and then he says, Poseidon's not the god of verbosity.
Yeah. But I do
Excessive verbosity.
like Percy questioning him and being like, "Well, you are the god of liars and thieves."
Yeah.
It does actually like make me wonder a little bit. Did Poseidon get his message, or did Hermes see this and just intervene?
Which would be more in line with the book, because in the book, Poseidon isn't giving him okay. Hermes comes, shows up, says you should go. Like
Yeah.
I'm approving this idea.
Yes. And then gives him the gifts, tells him to get on the cruise ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in both cases, well, actually, in the TV show, Percy is smarter than he is in the books, as we've noticed. And
Yeah.
in the TV show, he's like he's suspicious of Hermes.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like, I don't get like, like he's suspicious of the fact that he's like, there's a cruise ship right there. He's suspicious of the gifts, and he's like sort of like so like Hermes then says like, I want you to go save people and your friends, and he's like, oh, you want me to save Luke? You
Yeah.
think I can save Luke?
Yep. And then he's like mad about that too. He's like, I do everything right and I barely get any attention from my dad. And Luke's trying to take down Olympus, and here you are
Doing
being like
all
father
this,
of the year.
right?
Which for a
Ugh.
god he really is. He is very involved. Which is so funny because Luke's so mad because he thinks that Hermes like isn't a good father, but
Well, Hermes wasn't a good father.
he was there a lot with May Castilian.
Oh,
A lot more
so
than
Luke just
any
sucked.
other god ever was for their children.
Yeah, no, you're right. When we go back and we, not to get too spoilers, but we do get that idea.
That Hermes was way more involved in Luke's childhood. Now,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Now
he probably needed to be.
he's a messenger god, so I wonder if because he can kind of get around and move around, it's easier to be like checking in on kids and stuff. Like he's more, what's the word, ambulant?
Yeah,
What's the
he
right word
also
for
has a
that?
lot of kids.
Because he's so ambulant.
Yeah.
Like he pointed out, what stays in Vegas, or that was Percy, but
Yeah.
that was funny.
That was funny.
But yeah, no, he definitely is more where Poseidon is the god of the ocean. He has a lot going on. He's got a whole court down there and a lot happening.
Yeah, the ocean is like bigger than the land.
I know. So yeah, that is an interesting point. But I did like how Percy kind of jumped on this and was like, oh, I see what's going on here. I mean, in the book, he does kind of as well, but he sort of doesn't pick up on it until the end, where in the TV show, he's like from the beginning going like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
So, and in both cases, he's saying, I can't save Luke. And in both cases, we get the great line about family. Do you remember it?
Yeah, about how you can't give up on family even if they make it easy.
Yeah, no matter how tempting
Yeah.
they make it, you don't never give up on your family. And I actually really like that line.
Yeah, that is a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hermes also gives him the gifts, and they're the right gifts. They're the gifts, which means they're going to be used the right way, probably. It's
It's a thermos.
a thermos, yeah, that has the winds in it. And then the
And
vitamins.
but it's also a compass. So apparently, like, and Hermes was like, "Oh, that's true, but that's not really what it's supposed to be used for." But he says, like, and once I guess north is cold, and there's something about the cold on it that shows you north,
I don't think this one is going to be the compass. I
No.
think that Tyson's going to
Yeah.
bring the compass.
which is great, which is fine. I mean, I don't give a crap about the thermos and whether it's a compass or not. So
No.
bring on a new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same exact things. He
And then
mentions
the
the four
vitamins.
winds, and in both cases on the vitamins. I just love it when they get the things right.
Yes.
I get so excited when things are said the same way. So in both cases, he says, take these vitamins and you'll feel more like yourself.
Right.
Which fits in perfectly for what the vitamins are for.
Yeah.
Which we're not allowed to spoil.
Now, we don't see that they're little, like the shapes of them in the book. They are, like, really funny shapes.
Minotaur, how do you say that?
Yeah, there's, like, a Minotaur. There's, like, Cerberus, I
Yeah,
think.
like it's
and-
all these monster shapes.
But we do get the line of, like, the purple ones are my favorite. So,
I missed that line. Purple ones will probably be my favorite too.
Yeah.
Does he show the bottle?
Yeah, he shows the bottle.
I was too busy making notes sometimes. I guess I missed little things.
Yeah, he shows the bottle, and I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell if they were fun shaped, but then Hermes says, like, the purple ones are my favorite. So I was like, okay, still kind of fun.
Yeah. We're kind of getting into the territory where I'm just irritated with the TV show. But that's okay. It's the very end here, so
What do you
we'll have to
think
get
about
over.
instead of rainbow, there's just
There's
a
a
rainbow boat?
ridiculous.
I like that they put the effort in to make the boat rainbow color.
They can make a minotaur and they can't make a god darn fish pony. What is it called? A
Hippocampi?
hippocampi?
Yeah. This I was like, "Why is the boat rainbow?" And then I was like, "Oh my god. This is they're replacing rainbow with a rainbow-colored raft."
Man, our R.I.P. fish ponies.
Yeah.
So sad.
It
And
doesn't
then
really make
instead
that
of
much
putting in the
sense, though.
time to make some fish ponies, instead of putting in some, which also, see, part of that whole thing is getting that great feel about how Percy can go into the ocean and just like grab onto the fin of a gosh darn whale and take off. Like we get a lot of that throughout the
Yeah.
series. And this is a great time to do that. Are they going to skip that all the
I
time?
don't know, because
He's the son of the sea god.
these guys, the hippocampi come back twice, at least once, throughout the book to save the day.
Well, it's
So
just going to be Hermes dropping rainbow boats in the freaking ocean.
so maybe, I mean, maybe they'll come, but it seems
No,
like if there was a time
they're
for
not
them to
coming
come.
now. They're not coming, and it's and then instead of putting in the time to make those cool things, instead they want to give us this whole conversation about how just dragging out the drama about how Annabeth didn't have a good time on her year or whatever. Like she starts talking about why I don't like all that stuff is because I was bored. Oh, am I
Yeah.
jumping ahead?
No, this is where we are. I mean, Annabeth shows up.
Annabeth
Percy
shows
says,
up,
"You
yeah.
can't stop me."
Yeah, and she says
she
you can't
says,
go
yeah.
or whatever. And then she gets all mad and says, "I'm bored. It's all bored. I'm just a demigod."
Yeah.
And he says, "Even Jaws," which
Yeah,
was
I
a
know.
great line,
That was really funny.
but
And then
not enough for me to love this part.
I thought this conversation was fine. They literally are so dramatic in the books. I don't see why it's a problem.
It's only the addedness of it when other things are dropped out
Yeah, but it's not that the hippocampi would have taken time particularly.
to make them.
Okay, but that's not how that works.
Oh, I don't know.
The time spent on screen and the time spent in the editing room are two very
I'm
different
sure
things.
I could find a scene that could have been replaced. Just saying. Anyways, I get it.
Yeah, but we need the emotion between these two characters
We've
because we're
had
not in
it.
Percy's head.
We've
Yeah,
had
but-
it. There's
But
been
this
enough
conversation
emotion.
has been like leading up. We've been leading up to this
But
conversation.
then she never even freaking answered. It would make sense if they
Yes, she
ended.
did.
No, she 100% didn't. She said she was bored. That's not even the answer. And he said there's something else going on, and she was about to answer. And Tantalus says, "Well, this might be interesting," or whatever, like line he comes in on. She did not finish. She did not get
No, because the other
to the
thing
moral of the story
the
yet.
other thing they were talking about was when Tantalus shows up, Percy says like, "Why don't you talk to me about this other thing?" The other thing is what Chiron talked to her about. That's what he's trying to get out of her.
Oh, I think that we still haven't gotten to what what really went wrong.
Maybe, but I don't think that's what they were talking about there because then she said,
Oh, I
"That's the
thought
thing
so.
about this. If I talk about it, it gets more scary." They're talking about the
Oh, I
prophecy.
thought she was that whole time. I thought she was talking about what went on in her.
No,
Year.
Percy wants her to tell him about why Chiron won't let him go on this quest,
Huh.
and she won't tell him.
Interesting. I totally see that a different way. We'll have to see how that goes. I know that. I know that she won't. I know that they also talked about the quest. I know that she said that Chiron said he couldn't go because she had to at that point
Yeah,
because he figured it out.
but that's why she says that line about if I talk about this, it just gets more scary.
Okay, that would make sense, but it doesn't make sense why he says it helps if you just talk about it. Like, what does he mean it helps? He sounds like he's trying to help her out with a problem she has.
Yeah, because she's like betraying him and being all weird.
I'll have to watch it again, the ending, with that in mind, because I didn't get that at all. I totally thought we were still leading up to why she keeps spewing these things about her school year and not getting to the meat and potatoes, you know?
No, I think we got there.
Just that she was bored.
That she feels like that they can't because Percy's like, "What? So this means we can't be friends?" Like she's worried that they're too different.
Okay, so I'm going to make a bet here that I'm pretty sure that we're still going to have the subject come up one more time because it's not done. And then we're going to get the story about how her stepmom hates her
Maybe.
or her dad or whatever, or 'Cause I thought that in the book she came back from that and it didn't go very well.
No, it didn't.
Right, and
But this is new, so I just thought they replaced it.
yeah,
She
okay.
never talked about being bored and how she feels like she can't be a regular kid. That never happened in the book.
No, I thought this was just maybe yeah. I feel like she's getting to the point where she can't be a regular kid. That's why her stepmom and her dad, like, in the end, the actual like, if you're bored, you're not as traumatized as she looks. Something had to have happened.
Yeah.
And so she's, like, using these excuses of, like, "That stuff's all boring. I'm not like this. I'm just a demigod. I don't know how to be a normal person," because probably someone told her she couldn't be a normal person.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm just, like, analyzing Annabeth.
I
And
guess
maybe
we'll
I don't need
see.
to. But, yeah, let's just see, but that's where I feel like that's going, but let me watch that part again and see.
Yeah, I
I
still think
think we
he
can
was.
talk about it forever and probably bore everybody who's listening, so we're gonna have to go on.
Yeah. So then Tantalus shows up and says that this looks like a cute moment. Maybe your last words could be to each other.
Yep, he's
And
got
then
a
pulls out the
crossbolt.
cross. Yeah. And then
Which is
Tyson
great.
saves them.
Yeah, and so the difference here in the book is that Annabeth and well, Annabeth's not about to go on a quest, right?
No,
And Annabeth and Tyson both heard Percy yelling for them, even though he wasn't.
that
And
was
they
a Hermes
followed.
trick.
Yep, and they followed to the beach to get him because they thought he was in trouble. And then that's when he realizes basically, oh, I guess I'm taking you guys. They do argue about taking the Cyclops there at the end
Of course.
in the book
Yeah.
because she still hasn't told him what her problem is with Cyclops. And then he asks his dad for help, and then the fish ponies pop up, and that is the
So his
start.
dad still does approve the quest in a way because he sends the fish ponies.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the start of chapter 8, which is called "We Board the Princess in Drama." So that's where we end this episode. Is basically the beginning of chapter 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then so then in this
And
scene in the TV show, Tyson like knocks over Tantalus. He really should have knocked him out, but Tyson's too nice for that.
yeah, he just knocks him over. They hop on the boat. Of course, the boat starts first try, which is the most unrealistic thing, but it's
It's Percy.
because of Percy's boat powers. I'm also glad that it's an actual cruise ship, not a yacht.
Oh, I know. Thank goodness that we get an actual cruise ship.
Oh my
Also
god.
love
Do you know what we skipped?
Oh,
We
no.
completely skipped a scene where Annabeth goes to Tyson's cabin, to Percy's cabin, and Tyson's like, "Oh, thanks for coming by. It's so scary here alone." And she's like,
yeah.
"Alone?" And then he has this great little thing where he's like, "Well, I know what it's called when three friends go on an adventure. That's a quest. But what's it called when one friend leaves without telling anyone?" And then Annabeth's like, "Oh my god."
That was a very good
It was a
part.
really good scene.
It was a very good part. So then Annabeth takes off, and I guess obviously Tyson must have followed her
Yeah.
somehow, or whatever, because he shows up after Tantalus and after this whole long conversation. Maybe he was hiding in the woods.
Yeah.
Maybe he was eavesdropping. Dropping. He's good at that. I love how Tantalus though like shoots a bolt, and then Tyson's like patch kit over in the. He knows exactly where the first not the first
The
aid,
first,
but
yeah,
the
no, it was a first aid
oh okay,
kit.
but like the stuff for fixing the boat was. He knew
Yeah.
exactly where it was, and that
Yep.
there was a patch there, which was interesting.
Yep.
And then patches it, and then I love how Percy slashes the bolt out of the
That
air.
was so impressive.
Yes, I like when they make Percy impressive because he's supposed to be impressive, but all his water powers are completely ignored in the TV show.
Yeah.
Like he's wet when he gets some water. And then I also loved how Tantalus threw a tantrum.
Oh my god, he threw
A
the biggest
Tantalus
tantrum back on the shore.
Yeah.
And then Annabeth says that, like, Tantalus is right, we can never go back.
She
Which
looks so sad.
again, I think is not true. I'm like, well, you were allowed to leave.
Well, I think they think that too when they left in the
Yeah,
book
they
as
think they're
well.
expelled.
So they think they're going to be expelled. But the point is that we know, just like with Harry Potter, is, they never get expelled. They save the world and then they can come back.
Yeah, and also, like, Tantalus is barely in charge. I mean, like, I get that Zeus put him there or whatever, which, by the
And
way,
Mr. D
is
loves
not what happened in
Percy.
the book. In the book, Zeus does not choose Tantalus.
No.
But in the book, Mr. D gets to decide, and that's why he chooses, like, the worst possible option, because he hates the campers.
Yeah.
He hates the camp.
He also doesn't really like Tantalus that much and
No,
enjoys just watching him suffer at the same time. So
Yes.
it's a little bit of everything.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
God, he sucks so much.
Yeah. We do
Uh,
end with this like tension. Annabeth sitting up front. She's not happy. But Percy's a little excited because he keeps having these little smiles. And then Tyson's like something like, wow, we're going on a quest. Or now
Yeah.
this is a quest.
No,
or I don't
this
know.
is a quest.
This is the quest because there's 3 friends going on an adventure.
Yeah, so cute.
Very cute, and that ends it.
Yeah, so while Percy does know that Hermes is wanting him to save Luke, I think just like in the book, they don't know that Luke is on this cruise ship. So that's gonna
No.
be a reveal that we'll get once they get there.
Thank goodness, because they could have totally said Luke is on that cruise ship
Yeah.
and ruined it. But yeah, no, that is a good element of surprise that it's nice to have.
Yep. It's not just a normal cruise ship.
Yeah, and I wonder if we're gonna get zombie parents.
Yeah. This is fun. We are
Yeah.
having fun.
We are having fun. Or if it's just gonna be like a humongous ship full of monsters. We'll have to see. That's an
Yeah.
interesting.
And Allie. We'll see if she's there or if she's still on
She's
her
still
quest.
out on her quest. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Well, anyways, that was great. We are obviously looking forward to the next episode, which comes out the next Wednesday from when we are recording this. And I'm not entirely sure yet what our schedule is. First episode will have been out already by the time you've heard this, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this is weird because we will not do 2 episodes a week normally.
Yeah.
But I think we will normally post on Fridays.
Yeah. So, yeah, so the first episode's posting on Friday, so we'll probably stick with Friday. We just have to decide if episode 2 is going to come out as a little extra episode. I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it'll
We're
just
just
come
going to
out
get this
sometime
episode
between
when
now
you
and
get it,
Friday.
because if you're listening to it right now, it's out. And then then the next one will come out. Okay, cool. Well, this is fun.
Yeah, we have the socials, which you can follow. And I know what our email address is this time. It's campcomparisons@gmail.com. It's not Camp Comparisons Podcast.
Oh, so
Our
it's just
socials.
camp comparisons.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And is our socials Camp Comparisons Podcast?
Yes.
So it is an S at the end.
I think so.
What do we know? Do we know anything?
No, but it'll be in the description again. So
Someone knows something.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode, though.
Absolutely. All right. Until next time.
See you at camp.
Bye.